Sometimes with the arrival of winter, we yearn for the sun, as the presence of this colossal star is highly beneficial to us. If you live in a part of the world that experiences cold, long, and dark winters, you will agree that life without the light and warmth of the sun is impossible. Humans love spring, for they no longer need to wear heavy clothes and can leave their workplace before it gets dark. But have you ever asked yourself what would happen to the world if there were no sun? Join us as we explore this fascinating and thought-provoking matter further. Before delving into the main discussion, consider this point. If you place a hot cup of tea inside the refrigerator, it won't immediately become cold. Similarly, if the sun were to suddenly turn off one day, the earth would remain warm for several years. However, as inhabitants of the earth's surface, we would feel the cold much sooner than that. Just within a week after the sun's demise, the surface temperature of the earth will drop below freezing, and within a year the surface temperature will reach -100 degrees Celsius. The surface layers of the oceans will freeze, but in a subtle twist, the surface ice will act as an insulating barrier for the deep waters, preventing the entire oceans from freezing over for hundreds of thousands of years. Millions of years after that, our planet will settle into a stable state with a temperature of -240 degrees Celsius. According to David Stevenson, a planetary science professor at the California Institute, at this temperature, the heat radiation from the Earth's core balances out with the heat radiated into space by the Earth. While some microorganisms living in the Earth's crust will continue their existence, the majority of life will only persist for a few mornings after the sun goes dark. Photosynthesis will cease immediately, and most plants will die within a few weeks. Nonetheless, larger trees, due to their slow metabolism and substantial sugar reserves, could endure for a few decades. Although with the collapse of the food pyramid, most animals will swiftly perish. Scavengers can continue their lives by feeding on the remains of the deceased, at least until the cold overpower them. Humans can continue their existence by living underwater in the deepest and warmest parts of the oceans. But a more intriguing option could be inhabiting habitats that harness the Earth's heat or nuclear energy. One suitable place for such a life could be Iceland. The inhabitants of this island currently derive 87% of their home heating from geothermal energy. According to Eric Blackman, an astronomy professor at the University of Rochester, humans could utilize volcanic heat for hundreds of years. However, the sun not only provides warmth to the Earth, but also keeps it in orbit. If the mass of the sun were to suddenly disappear, the Earth would be cast adrift in space, much like a balloon tied to a string that is suddenly cut. It's important to note that if the sun were to vanish, not only would warmth be lost from the Earth, but there would also be no light, leading to immense chaos at that time. However, scientists have discovered over several years of research that the sun will remain healthy for several million years to come. In your opinion, what would happen to the Earth and especially the organisms within it if the sun were to disappear? Please leave it in comments. Thank you for being with us so far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested about information, wonders on our contents, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be aware of daily content.